Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Surrey Police Service's information session for experienced officers. This information session was designed to help answer questions specific to out-of-province applicants. I'm Staff Sergeant Darren Shepherd, and I will be your moderator this afternoon. Before we get started, I would like to recognize that the work of Surrey Police Service takes place on the ancestral, traditional, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples. Today, we have a series of speakers, both live and by video, who are going to provide you with information that will be important for those considering a move west to join Surrey Police Service, also known as SPS. Today will be a short half-hour session, as we will not have time for questions to be posed to the panel members at the end. Should you have a question that arises from this session, please reach out to one of our experienced officer recruiters by email at careers@surreypolice.ca or by telephone at 604-591-4084. One of our recruiters will get back to you in the coming days. I would now like to introduce Deputy Chief Constable Jennifer Hyland.
So thanks for joining us. As Darren mentioned at the start of this presentation, the goal here for us today is to provide you with some information to help you make the decision as to whether or not a move from some other part of Canada to the BC region, specifically the Lower Mainland, is the right choice for you. And so we know that that's a major decision for you and your family and for where you are in your life. And so today we wanted to give a little bit of information that goes beyond what we do for our local recruiting area. We've seen a little bit of what the lifestyle can be like in the Lower Mainland. Obviously, if you were to make the decision to move out here, there's lots of information on how and where you can have your children go to school, sports events. We have lots of professional sports and various things that you could do in Surrey. In addition to that, obviously, you're going to be making a major decision to leave your current employer, who is some police agency across the country, and decide whether or not the Surrey Police Service is the employer for you and the culture for you and the team for you. So one of the things that I want to talk about is a couple of areas is that we as an organization really see ourselves as a committed group to each other. We don't treat any of our employees differently. We have members of our organization are sworn, and we have members of our organization that are civilian. Our commitment to each other is not about friendship. It's about acknowledging the sacrifice that you make as a police officer every single day and the sacrifice that your family makes along with you. And so we here at Surrey Police really mean it when we talk about wellness and support. These are not just taglines for us. We believe in putting our money where our mouth is. And there's going to be a speaker that's going to come up, one of our constables who's going to talk about our recently signed collective agreement. And when you have the opportunity to review that document when it's loaded in full, you will see wellness and commitment embedded throughout that agreement. And what that tells you is that it's a true example of what's happening at Surrey Police Service. We are building a policing organization in the 2022 from the ground up. That means that we are not confined by the leadership decisions and the history of a long-standing police service. It means that we can be innovative. It means that we can be creative. It means that we can be inclusive. And it means, most importantly, that we are not squandering the opportunity to be the best police service in the entire country, if not, quite frankly, in the world. I will tell you that when the information about our CEI went out, I was reached out to by people around the world that talked about how amazingly innovative and modern our collective agreement is. And it really lines up with our commitment to each other, our commitment to the community, and our commitment to being the best that we can be every single day. So if being part of a team like that commits to each other from recruitment to retirement and beyond is something that speaks to you, if being creative and innovative is something that you want to be part of, and if just the lifestyle and what we have to offer in BC and the Lower Mainland is something that you think works for your family, then we really encourage you to submit any additional questions, reach out to the recruiting team, Go back onto our website and look at all of our previous loaded videos that will show you a lot of information about our training standards, our equipment, and just extra things that you'll get out of becoming a teammate here at Surrey Police Service. So on that note, I want to introduce the next speaker, who is Staff Sergeant Carrie Blades.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So just to touch on a little bit further what Deputy Chief Hyland was saying, a little bit about why SPS. So similar to many of you that are considering a move west, I came to BC as a result of my policing career, but then I chose to transfer to the city of Surrey a number of years ago, where I have stayed and still remain. So we've shown some of you through the video here why so many of us have either moved to the lower mainland of BC or we've chosen to stay here and to police within the city. This afternoon, we wanted to share some of our reasons why. So the beauty of this area, there's a map there of Surrey. It's like nothing else anywhere in Canada. We've got mountains, lakes, oceans close by, mild winters, sunny green summers. It was actually the same temperature this past Saturday in Surrey that it was in San Francisco. It really is an area where you can have a fantastic work-life balance, and that's something that is a priority here within SPS. So we do understand that it's a big decision to move to another province, and that many of you would have families that would need to relocate with you. So while work is important, we also know that so is your time outside of work. So we're hoping to answer some of your questions this afternoon so that we can make that decision for you a little bit easier. So anyone that's not familiar with the area, as I said, there's a map of the city of Surrey and the surrounding cities, Langley, Burnaby, Coquitlam, Delta, Vancouver. It's located within an area called the Lower Mainland of British Columbia. At the north end of Surrey is the Fraser River. It's a local hotspot for salmon fishing. At the south end of Surrey is Crescent Beach and the border that connects BC with Washington State. Surrey police officers work closely with CBSA and investigators from the US because of that proximity to the border. Surrey's half-an-hour drive to the ferries that take you to Vancouver Island, the Sunshine Coast, and various other islands along the Strait of Georgia. It's a fantastic area to watch humpback whales and orcas. As far as education, Surrey has numerous public school options. There's French immersion schools, there's private schools, as well as a number of universities close by like UBC, SFU, and BCIT. It also has all the things that a major center would have, including fantastic rec facilities, pools, rinks, fitness centers, arenas, public transit by way of buses and SkyTrains, parks, and there's 2 international airports, one on either side of Surrey. There's also an employee wellness pass for SPS members at a reduced rate, so you can take advantage of all these facilities that are available here in Surrey. Many SPS members are also involved in Surrey youth sports by way of coaching and mentoring. And we participate in things such as Cops for Cancer, polar plunges, the Christmas food bank drives, the coldest night of the year, and several other social and cultural events. Surrey is a city full of diversity, and SPS is looking to hire experienced officers with various backgrounds and experiences. If you speak other languages or you have knowledge and training you feel would benefit SPS, then we'd love to hear from you. So far, SPS has hired over 200 sworn police officers, and we've been granted approval to hire another 175 experienced officers in 2022. The other question that we get asked quite often is in regard to training and equipment. It's a topic that's important to experienced officers, and our 10 training officers within our SPS operational skills unit want to ensure that our sworn officers are getting the best equipment and training possible. Things such as using the Glock G45 with an undergun light. It's lightweight, it's easy to use compared to other service pistols. So our OSU team, as you can see here, that's one of our training sessions outdoors. The team provides a relaxed, positive training environment focused on patrol response tactics, de-escalation, as well as going over and above what's required by the provincial policing standards. This includes training not just in first aid, but in emergency operational medicine and tactical medical training. The training is in-house in Surrey, making attending convenient and easy for all of our members. As well as part of our 5-week initial training, all new SPS hires will complete onboarding, which includes your use of force recertification, Gracie survival tactics, immediate rapid deployment, and reality-based training scenarios for criminal offense and mental health calls for service. There's classroom learning as well on things like trauma-informed practices, LGBTQ25A+, diversity, and an introduction to ongoing issues in Surrey like the Lower Mainland gang conflict. SPS has had hundreds of experienced officer applicants from across the country. We've currently have 41 SPS sworn officers deployed alongside the Surrey RCMP. And already this year, we've had 2 experienced officer classes with a 3rd class starting later this month. We're well on our way to meeting our goal of hiring 175 this year. So we encourage applicants to submit their interest now for future deployments. If you have questions regarding SPS training, specifically, you can visit our November 2021 information session. There's a recording on our SPS website, or you can send us an email to careers@surreypolice.ca. Next, we have a video from Sergeant Mohit Paul. Mohit came to SPS from the Toronto Police Service, and he's currently working frontline operational policing in Surrey.
My name is Mohit Paul. I'm a sergeant with the Surrey Police Service. I joined Surrey Police Service as it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help build a police service from the ground up. The transition provides a unique opportunity where the citizens of Surrey actually have a say and input to provide their feedback to help build a police model that they would like to see in their community. Since joining the Surrey Police Service from the Toronto Police Service, I have had a very positive and rewarding experience. The culture at SPS is inclusive, welcoming, and centered around member wellness. I have had the opportunities to work in many different sections, and the different interactions with all the members have been very positive, and all the members have been very welcoming and helpful in answering any questions I have had. The ELT's commitment to member wellness is second to none, and this makes Surrey Police Service a very rewarding and amazing place to work.
Now I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Constable Brendan Charna. Constable Charna.
Thank you, Steph. So my name is Brendan Charna. I'm a constable with the Transitional Recruiting Unit, one of many sworn officers that are assigned to that particular role. The Transitional Recruiting Unit handles all experienced police officer applications, so from across the country. Currently, the SPS has hiring pools for constables and sergeants within the Community Policing Bureau. So you may know this more as a patrol or general duty. As we continue to grow, we'll have internal transfer opportunities for specialized sections, again, as we continue to grow. To date, we've hired over 200 experienced police officers, as you've heard already, from over 20 police agencies across Canada. The application process for an experienced police officer has been streamlined and is in accordance with the BC Police Act. The application process of itself is actually very simple, and it's been, again, streamlined. For starters, you create a profile online where you can then upload your cover letter, resume, and government ID, just a scanned copy of that. And you'll have to also answer some yes or no questions. Once that's completed, a sergeant or staff sergeant within the Transitional Recruiting Unit will then screen you to confirm that you do meet the minimum requirements as an experienced officer. Once that's done, you'll be assigned a recruiter, possibly me or another constable within the unit. Once we're assigned, we are the point of contact for any new applicants, and we remain the point of contact from start to finish. So we are there to help you with any sort of questions you may have about the application process. We can help you with any other questions you have, maybe about the transition, or even as simple as what neighborhoods are good to live in or that might suit your needs when you do make that move over to the West Coast. And then once you're assigned that file, it essentially will carry on over to what we call the employee services section. But obviously, before you get here, you may have some questions as well too. And what you can do is you can email us at careers@surreypolice.ca, and there's also a telephone number which you'll see come up at the end, where you can talk to somebody directly from the Transitional Recruiting Unit. Now, given that you're coming from different provinces, as I mentioned, there's police officers here that have started that have come from over 20 different policing agencies across Canada. So there's a high likelihood that we can connect you with someone who's made the transition already from potentially your home agency right now, or maybe from the province that you're currently in. and they can kind of walk you through their experience through the process and how the move went and how beneficial it was having a recruiter assigned to you to answer those specific questions, or as Sergeant Emery will explain, some of the stuff that our employee services section can help you out with. Again, if you need to connect with us, we're available by phone, text, or if you like, we could even do a Teams video call to help you with that. That being said, though, when it comes to transferring your file from the Transitional Recruiting Unit over to the Employee Services section, I'll pass it off to the expert here, Sergeant Ken Emery.
Thanks, Brendan. Hi, I'm Sergeant Kent Emery with the ESS, or Employee Services section. And before this, I was with the Mounties. I did 17 years and left the bomb squad to come here. I came because I wanted to make a difference and start something new and change things. And we're given that chance here. So my role within ESS is essentially to take care of a certain profile of people. It's based on last names. And I touch base with these individuals on a regular basis, depending on what's going on in their lives. So each member is assigned a single sergeant, and their job is to assist the member through their career. So from the start of it, when you sign, to when you retire, and all the way in between. Some of the things that we do take care of, you can have a look at the PowerPoint there, is career development. So as you start out as junior, or if you're coming in with many years of service, we can help guide you. And if you have things you'd like to do, we can point you in the right direction because we have the contacts there, or we can find the contacts if we don't have them. You'll have performance evaluations, promotional process, and applications for internal job postings that we take care of. Member wellness, that's a huge part of our role within ESS, and it's different. I didn't experience this in my prior job, and it's a really interesting way of taking care of the members, which is key to being successful. So Sergeant Kaylee Patton takes care of that role, and her job essentially is to support families during emergencies, ensure that members get the trauma support they need if they're involved in something. We also have a psychologist built in with the wellness unit, Dr. Lisa Kitt, and she's able to come out and debrief or do something with the members if need be. A big thing that she wanted me to talk about was there's no stigma here. There's no need to be tough and no need to take a knee. So if you're having a poor day, tell us, let us know, and we'll find someone, or someone will help you out, okay? Employee benefits. I'm not going to go into this too deep because there's somebody that's going to speak on this. We've got medical coverage, extended health and dental plans, and it covers not only you, but your family exceptionally. I was impressed with our new CA. One other thing that we do take care of is internal discipline. So if there's complaints or labor law, investigation, and respectful workplace, something else that we take care of. A big thing that in terms of our role is trust, because we're given a lot of information about the members, and it's private, and it's a big thing for us to keep it that way. It's not something we share, it's not something we talk about. So we want you to be able to come to us, talk to us, and we're there to help you out. The big thing is the group that I do work with, we're all police officers formally. So we've been on the road, we've done specialized positions, some of us, and we understand the role that you play on the road as well as in specialized sections, and we want to be there to support you. There's a lot of opportunity here in Surrey. I started out here back in 2004, and it's a huge place and it's grown a lot, and there will be a lot of opportunity for you to promote and increase your career. That's basically it for ESS.
Hey everyone, Constable Clawson with the Surrey Police Service. Thanks for taking the time to join our information sessions today. I just wanted to talk about my experience coming over to the Surrey Police. I've had nothing but awesome experiences and opportunities so far. The well-being of our members is a top priority here, and we have multiple different units that look after us. The experiences that I've had working in our Transitional Recruiting Unit have been nothing short of awesome. It's a totally different line of work, but nothing short of one of the best career opportunities I've had so far. As well as working with our leadership and development team, looking forward to planning the rest of my career. I wish everybody the best of luck with their applications with Surrey Police.
I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce Constable Ryan Bjerg, who's going to speak to you about our new and exciting collective agreement. Constable Bjerg.
Hello, so my name's Ryan. My day job is in the Leadership Development Unit, and I'm also on our Board of Directors for the Surrey Police Union. So as Deputy Chief Highland mentioned earlier, we're really excited to have ratified a collective agreement last week. Our priorities for this agreement were really to create a modern collective agreement. A lot of times in the past, collective agreements are stagnant and there's a resistance to change. We really wanted a modern agreement that works for our members and works for the Surrey Police Service. We placed a really high focus on wellness and competitive compensation. What I will say about the process going through for the last couple of months is it was a really collaborative process, both between the union and the Surrey Police Service and the Surrey Police Board. We really focused on areas of mutual gain and tried to make sure that the contract took care of our members, because when we take care of the police officers, they'll take care of the community. And that was really a philosophy both from the union and from the Surrey Police Service. I wanted to highlight a couple key aspects to the contract. The contract will be posted online in the next couple weeks. But here are just some brief highlights to give you an idea of where we're focusing on wellness. So just to start off, a brief comment about wages. If you're from out of province, historically in the Lower Mainland in British Columbia, wages have followed the Vancouver Police Department. So we're doing something very similar to that, in that our wages will meet Vancouver's. We did want to signal that SPS will be competitive, so there will be 3% wage increases for the next 3 years. And then if Vancouver does end up having higher compensation, we'll match Vancouver. So the wages are very competitive, and it really signals respect for our members and the work that they do in the community. In terms of some of the other aspects of the contract, a major one is paid maternity and parental leave. So we have a 95% wage top up for the parental leave portion, as well as the maternity leave. And this was really to prioritize families. We want members be able to take time off when they have a child, to take time off to care for their children. You can either take the full time yourself or take a portion of it to help support your spouse. So paid parental leave is really important in building a culture where people can go take care of their families and then come back to their careers. We have extremely competitive medical benefits package, again, to take care of our members. So 90% coverage for dental, which is on the higher end. We also have $5,000 per person for RMT, chiro, acupuncture, unlimited physiotherapy. 100% coverage for mental health, up to $5,000 a year. So you can use this either for psychologists or clinical counselors. This was really important to us because we don't feel, both us and Surrey Police Service don't feel like anybody should be out of pocket anytime you have to see someone for help. So 100% coverage for any type of mental health treatment through a psychologist is really important. And the other interesting aspect of the benefits too is we have $20,000 for fertility treatment. It could be a real point of stress for families, so there is coverage through there as well. Our sick leave plan. So one of the things that we recognize soon on is hiring a lot of experienced members. They're leaving huge sick banks back at their home agency. So that's a concern. It's a safety net for a lot of people. So both us and the Surrey Police Service wanted to really recognize those experienced members coming over. And we needed leave banks that would help, that would accumulate quickly. So one of the ways that we did that is we have a high accrual rate for our sick leave at 260 hours per year. 20 hours of that will go into a union sick bank. So that'll be held by the union to disperse when members run out of sick time. So in essence, it's a built-in insurance plan. So coming over to SPS, you'll know that you'll be taken care of if you do end up having an injury where you need to access sick time from the beginning. Another feature of our sick bank is we really did recognize that family emergencies affect our members and they affect our mental health. If something's there's an emergency or an illness in the family, that affects you as a member. So you will be allowed to access your sick leave bank for any type of family related sicknesses as well. Wellness leave. So we also have 40 extra hours of leave per year, recognizing that there's some events that are important to you so that you can access this type of wellness leave for 40 hours in order to take time off for those things that are important to you and to your family. If it isn't used, financial wellness is also important. So you can either have it paid out and use it for other wellness related activities if you want, whatever you want to, or we'll actually coordinate a retirement fund for all of our members. So if you wanted to opt in, any unused wellness leave would go into this retirement fund where you could then collect and it would gain interest on retirement. So that's a big way in terms of setting up your financially well future. One other kind of interesting option that we'll implement over the next couple years is self-funded leave. So essentially, this is a sabbatical for police officers. If you want to defer 20% of your leave to future years, you'll be able to do that. So essentially collecting 20% less leave to take a fifth year off. And that you can take off to do whatever you want to do, whether it's spending time with your family, whether it's going on vacation. It's really competitive and really innovative way to make sure that officers are taking care of themselves. We will also have an employee education fund that we're working out the details for, and that'll be kind of jointly administered between the union and management, and there'll be some options to further your education if you choose to do so. So overall, just our collective agreement, it's really modern and it really places a high focus on employee wellness. Employees that are well and inclusive really translates to better service to the community. And that was something that we all focused on in negotiating this contract. And I think that's it.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for that great presentation. We'll now show a video from Sergeant Ryan Forbes.
Good morning, Sergeant Ryan Forbes, Surrey Police Service. Welcome. Pretty unique day. I actually thought it was going to be a snow day and I'd have to deal with my kids, but thankfully the plows were out all night. I'm sure you've heard all the reasons to join Surrey Police Service. Building an amazing culture, state-of-the-art technology, top-of-the-line equipment, but there's a different side. The side of the Lower Mainland, fantastic. How about I show you around tomorrow? It's a day off. See you tomorrow.
Good morning. 7:30 in the morning, middle of February, 8 degrees. Thought I'd have to shovel the driveway this morning, but then I remembered where I lived. What a phenomenal way to start the day. Let's go. Cloverdale Athletic Park, your kids will love it here. It's like 6 feet of air on that easy. Couple scrapes and bruises, well worth it. That was sick.
Gorgeous. Mountains in the distance, geese in the pond, world-class golfing in the heart of Surrey. Who are we kidding? I don't golf. But the brunch here is fantastic. Let's go.
South Surrey Bike Park. Let's roll. Ooh, 6 feet of air. Tennis? Can't do everything. Let's go hit the slopes. -7. Welcome to your backyard. Let's go. Ooh, 6 feet of air. Gorgeous. This is why we came. Little taste of the Lower Mainland. What do you want to do tomorrow?
Thank you, Sergeant Forbes, and thank you to all our speakers this afternoon. A reminder that if you have any questions about the SPS or transitioning from another province, please reach out to us by email at careers@surreypolice.ca or by telephone at 604-591-4084. Those numbers and email addresses are on the screen now. You also have the options of a Teams one-on-one video call with one of our recruiters if you would like. We will be reposting this presentation with the corresponding videos to our website later today, so feel free to check back and we'll have that audio working for you guys. Apologies for the technical difficulties there. It's an exciting time as we continue to build a brand new police service that is rooted right here in Surrey. We hope that you will consider joining us. Our experienced officer hiring pools for both constable and sergeant are now open, and we look forward to receiving your applications. On behalf of Surrey Police Service, I'd like to thank you for your time and thank you for joining us today. Take care.